Hi, my name is Mallory Beller, and I am in History 105, Section 504 with Dr. Damon Bach, and I'm going to be reading my extra credit essay that I wrote on immigration. During the 19th century, the economy progressed as a result of new advances in industrialization, such as Eli Whitney's cotton gin. Because of these new inventions, many industries yearned for workers and laborers to regulate their machinery and develop these products. In turn, the U.S. opened its borders to immigrants, primarily Irish and German immigrants, who were looking to escape poverty and religious persecution. There was much dispute about the arrival of immigrants coming to the U.S. in the 19th century. Many Americans viewed the presence of immigrants as a threat to American culture, value, and institutions, and feared that their involvement would contaminate the racial purity of the nation. Americans were worrisome of the competition that allowing foreigners into the labor market would bring and their influence on the protection of their work. More specifically, many Americans feared that German Catholics who immigrated to the U.S. would align themselves more with the Pope than their own country and therefore influence all aspects within the society such as education, politics, and economics. Immigrants from Ireland, Germany, and other parts of the world arriving in the U.S. were aware of these stereotypes and obstacles they would face, such as language barriers and cultural differences. While Irish and German immigrants arrived to the U.S. for similar reasons, they differed in their strengths and skills that they would bring to the U.S. in order to compete for these job opportunities. Due to the Great Famine, which occurred throughout Ireland and as a result wiped out most of their potato crops and left millions without food, Irish immigrants were skilled in agricultural maintenance and organized labor. On the other hand, German immigrants would classify themselves as skilled workers and professionals, so they sought entrance into professions and education. In my opinion, I feel that the U.S. should have approached the arrival of immigrants with less judgment and resentment. Don't judge a book by its cover. Although that is easier said than done, many Americans were quick to judge immigrants without realizing their contribution to the growth of the economy. To preface, I completely understand where Americans were coming from and their fears with immigrants intruding in society. In order to ease in the addition of immigrants into the U.S., I would propose an act which allowed immigrants the eligibility to work in the labor market, but deducted a small tax reduction from their income until they were considered a resident. In order to be considered a resident of a certain place, you must live there for 183 days. So after their residency of 183 days, the deduction in their income would stop. That way, Americans feel the intrusion of immigrants coming to the U.S. is more fair, and immigrants get familiar with their new environment and occupations while still earning money. Now that I am knowledgeable of the past and the process of immigration, it has influenced the stereotypes that movies and television have made me believe. I used to think the act of immigration was very negative and intrusive, but after learning about this topic and understanding the reasons why many migrated to the U.S., I empathize with them and try to understand what it must have been like to be in some of their shoes. That concludes my extra credit essay. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for this semester.